All right, we got a no cool call here. Pretty nice house we have not been to before, so let's ask them the symptom and try to get them fixed. Okay, so this is zoned with two thermostats. First thing we've noticed is this thing is stuck in a setup mode and it will not respond to anything. So I took it off the wall, took the batteries out, and did get it to reset, and it went back. It had the temperatures on it and it was going up and down, flashing delay. As soon as it came out of delay, it went right back to this screen. Stuck on 10 and 0. You can't hit done, you can't hit next. Can't get out of it. So, it's the first time I've ever seen that on a 5000. These old thermostats, I used to love these. I wish they wouldn't have quit making them. So anyway, this house is zoned. Wonder if he's got enough golf clubs. And this one, showing cool on, and which is normal, but I hear nothing out of the return, and we're getting nothing at all. So let's take a look up in the attic. Okay, so I was gonna look for the crawl space door and I saw the two units. Both of them were running. So obviously the one thermostat that is calling had no problem starting the outside unit, but we have no fan. And we know the result of that. So I saw that big block of ice, and there's the accumulator down there. It is a solid block all the way to the compressor. So, looks like we obviously have a blower issue. Went all through the ceiling attic, through a couple other places. Finally found the air handler. I'm going to imagine it's got an ECM in it. That's bad. All right, so after the big Easter egg hunt, here's the frozen line in here. And I can tell you right now, this is going to be a bad ECM, but let's open it up and see. Yep. And I can just tell you, that is going to be bad. And that coil is definitely frozen. I'll tell you, this ductwork in this house. Look at that. What is that doing? I hope that's not hooked up. There goes the crazy returns, and here's a flex line going up to feed. Cut that light off. Going up to feed that 5-foot section of pipe used as a trunk line to catch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vents, one of which takes almost a 180-degree turn there. Yeah, this is pretty bad. I don't know if there's a bypass back there, or if that, nope, that is, look at that. It's got a damper in it, so that's one of the zoned areas. Look at that drop coming out of the top. Looping over and going up there into a bathroom or something, I guess, I don't know. Here goes this flex line there up into the attic to some of the trunk lines I found up there, and then we have these two returns. Don't see a bypass, so Obviously you have a 12 and a 12, it looks like. Yep, each have a damper. Look at that little short piece of pipe there. Take that one run out, little short 2-foot piece of pipe. Take that one run out and then back to flex. You know, this is the kind of ductwork that, well, anyway, you see it. No need to go on about that. Let's get this ECM out of here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and test it just to make sure it's got high and low voltage to it, and then we're going to replace it. And the one zone that is off is because I pulled that thermostat off the wall that's reading incorrectly, stuck in setup or whatever it is. So let's check this thing out. Okay, I pulled the speed tap wires, the low voltage, the blue and white, stuck my meter leads in them. There's our 26.5. So we know we're getting the signal to call for it. And I'm going to unplug this. And I'm doing that hot. So I don't know if all you guys ought to do that or not, but it's what I'm doing. Just lay the meter up there where you can see it. And let's see. And the two that should be hot here, I believe, are the yellow and black. Can't remember that for sure. Yep. So there's our 240 on the yellow and black. So whenever you're checking an ECM motor, if you've got high and low voltage to it, obviously it should be running, and it is not. So I'm going to take this ground wire loose right here. And as I've said many times before, these ICP units are a very simple design, very easy to work on. And you know, as much as those ECM motors, X-13s, whatever you want to call them, as much as they fail, they need to be easy to work on and come in and out. I'll tell you, they ought to have wing nuts right here just to get it apart. So, let's pull the wiring out through this hole here. Only 2 screws that hold this in, and it's sturdy enough with those 2. That one right there, and this one down here. And once those are out, this motor will pull right out thusly. So let's get it out of here. Okay, so all those wires are dead. For those of you that want to make the comments to tell me how crazy I am for the wires not being dead. So we did pull the disconnect out. Pull this ECM out right quick. And it's a half or a third. I just may have one with me. Yep, 1/3 horsepower. So I keep a few of these, the evergreen ones, in the truck. As moist and nasty as I see this thing in here, I bet the shaft is, oh yeah. Nice and crusty. So that one might be fun to get out. Let's go take a look in the truck and see what we got. All right. See what we've got. Hopefully we have a 1/3 with us. Yep. There it is right there. So instead of carrying that thing in and out, I think I'll just take a few toys and this and sit down up in there in that little knee wall attic and change it right there. So let's get our necessary items and get it done. All right, so got everything up here. Got my jack of all sprays. Got my piece of sandpaper. Got my big wrench here that will serve as a hammer as well as an adjustable wrench. So I'm going to take that set bolt all the way out. So hopefully I got that thing to go down a little bit. Just barely. What I need to do is keep me a short black iron pipe nipple in this little tray I got with me. You can stick that pipe nipple over that shaft and tap on that with a hammer. And so I'm just spinning that slowly with my pinky finger while I'm working the sandpaper. To make it go all the way around and always get to the flat spot, which really shouldn't affect you as much. But I go ahead and sand it off some too. And so I got another new piece just to be sure. And we have sanded it vigorously. Alright, now I'm going to take my jack of all sprays, put a little bit there, and then as always I get a little bit to go up in the set bolt hole. Now once that sits a minute, this stuff works really well, and it does not stink. Take some of the excess off. And we'll be letting that work while we're getting it loose on this side. Somebody in one of the comments tried to say that they would leave the arms all connected and just loosen the band, take the motor in and out with that. But I'll tell you what, with it down in there, I'd like to watch that happen. There's no good wrench, no good socket. I just don't know. I think that'd be more trouble than it's worth. So we're going to take it out. I don't want anybody to be shocked, but I did actually carry it. Not a bag, but a tray. I'm the old tray guy. Now I got a couple Vito bags full of tools in the truck. Well, you know, but this I keep empty, and I just throw whatever task I'm gonna go do. I'll just throw a few things in it and drag it under a house or in an attic. But let's see if we can get this thing out now. It's been soaking for a couple minutes. All right, I got it loose and it ain't budging. So obviously this one is gonna put up a little bit of a fight. So flip it back over and see if we can do one other thing that helps, is to break it loose by turning it. So we could hope that'll loosen us up some. So you just take an adjustable wrench and put it on the flat side. Yep, and it's turning. So after we do that, try to get a little more spray down in the actual crack. Maybe turn it one more time with it on there. And you guys that tell me to buy a puller, I've got every one of them. Don't like them, don't need them, don't want them. You can have them. So, hopefully that got us somewhere. And if it doesn't, when all else fails, you got to tap on it a little bit. As much as I hate to do that, I didn't bring my cool little hammer. I've got one hammer that's got an end on it that it's got like right in the middle of the head an epoxied end, and I can just take it and drop it right on the shaft and it won't do anything to it. But I don't have anything with me up here. So I'm gonna have no choice but to just hold it up myself. There she goes, just like that. Eventually, the oil and the movement, having it loose, that eventually works for you. Okay. So, what I do is just lay it out with the wires facing me, take it apart and put it together just like that, and stick it right back in there. And I always kind of take a look to see how high everything is on the motor, how much motor we got left here. So this band's a little over, you know, it's probably about a third of the way down, a little over halfway. Just kind of eyeball that. If it was critical, we could mark it, but I think we'll do fine here. All right, and I didn't want to carry everything up here, so I don't have the drill with all my chucks and extensions, so I'm gonna have to use a wrench, but it only takes a minute. Dip it right off and on. We're not gonna have that luxury today. One thing, well, they're about the same. Just thought it looked a little bigger. So I'm going to face the wires the same place they were. Set the band back down on there, although we need to have this just a little bit looser than it is. Pretty easy on a floor to get everything in, because the floor can hold it till you get it snug, and you slide it exactly into place to tighten it completely. If you get these in exactly the right spot, you can move them a little bit and they'll stay. And this is where the drill would be handy. But probably less than a minute we lost there, fiddling with the wrenches. And we are ready to go back in. I'm going to peel this sticker off that says the wiring is not exactly as your other wiring, because that sticker is wrong. The wiring is like the other wiring, but not on every unit, I guess. But it certainly is on this ICP unit. All right, disco. So the label right here, it's a good thing to remember. Obviously the wires face this way. So with all right. Anytime we go on a service call, I'm always glad to see an ICP unit. The reason for that is they are very easy to fix. And I always put this top screw back in first. Kind of takes a little bit of a two-handed deal there to hold it. But once that's in, it'll don't tighten it just yet. I just put it in. And the bottom one is basically already lined up. Put the bottom one in and tighten it. Put the top one in and tighten it. It looks like I accidentally took one of the cabinet screws. Sure did. These gold ones go inside here. Really don't think that would have mattered, but just something I do. Stick the right one back. I'll get our wires through here. Get this one back off and hook the ground wire to it, which the unit wants to drop a little when you do that. The blower does. And we will plug this bottom one on first. And it'll really only go one way. So you're not going to make a mistake on that. You really shouldn't plug them in hot. And these usually are going to be on 2 and 4. Let's take a look at these. All right, and I forgot to mention that when I set this blower wheel, as some of you have seen on my other videos, I set this one towards the top a bit. I'll go in the center if it's an upflow or downflow, but I go, either away from or towards the motor depending on where the load is. So as this motor wears, the shaft play will increase, and the wheel will go down. So instead of sitting it dead in the middle, I sit it very slightly towards the top and tighten the bolt. And also, after digging in my whatever you want to call this, tray pouch, I don't have a zip tie, so I'm going to get one out of the truck, zip tie these wires right here just to be safe like they were, and then we're going to close this thing up and fire it up. All right, let's get this back on. And we'll listen at it. It'll try one direction for a few seconds and then back to the other direction for a few seconds. I'm going to let it get up and running, and then I'm going to go outside because we have 2 thermostats here. I'm going to go outside and pull the orange wire loose and make sure we've gotten rid of all the ice for a few minutes, and then we'll put it back on just to keep from having a, we're in delay right now, keep from having to run up and down, deal with 2 thermostats. Now this is back to normal for the moment. Nope, see, there it goes. So we're going to give them this one. So those are setup numbers. So we're going to give them this one. We're going to have to go through this one and make sure it's set for heat pump and heat strips. So hopefully I can remember how to do this. Okay, it looks like this was on a heat pump because 1 is on 5. 6 should be on 9. Done. Okay, so that should give us cool heat, emergency heat, and off. Okay. So let's put this one up there for him. And it sounds like the other one has come on and this one is still on its 5-minute delay, so let's hope we don't have an issue with that zone board and that this turns on. Let's go look at the other one. I don't know if it was on because that fan switch was on or, yep, it actually came out of delay and it's cool on and it's running. I think I just heard this one click. I thought I saw the delay was set shorter when we were going through that setup. It was like on 1 or 3, it wasn't a full 5-minute delay. Some people turn them off, I don't do that, but. So this is on, so let's go make sure both units are running and then we'll check to make sure it's not iced up.